Right now at 11, polls open tomorrow morning for Wisconsin's spring election. We got a quick rundown of what you might see on your ballot. And every Wisconsinite will be seeing 2 questions about bail reform. La Crosse County's district attorney says the amendments may not be enough. Plus, Governor Evers signs a bill aimed at increasing punishments for reckless drivers. Cities can now impound cars driven by repeat offenders.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for a late edition of News 8 Now at 10 here at 11:15. I'm Ken Kozarowski. Wisconsin's spring election coming up tomorrow, and as you prepare to head to the polls, here's some things to remember. Besides smaller municipal positions across the region, Northside La Crosse voters will decide 2 new common council members. Voters in the La Crosse School District will elect 4 new school board members, as well as vote on a $60 million operating referendum. And we have a statewide advisory referendum on welfare, and La Crosse, Eau Claire, and Vernon counties have an advisory referendum on the state's abortion ban. Those advisory referenda, any votes there will not lead to any legal changes. Every state voter will decide on the Supreme Court race, and that one will count. We also have several school district referenda across our viewing area. Meanwhile, the La Crosse County Clerk has a major piece of advice for you when it comes to those referendum questions.
Do your research on the referendum questions ahead of time. They're long questions, so there's going to be a lot of reading at the polls. We feel that's probably what's going to back up the polls, if anything does, is just the time it's going to take voters to get through all the referendum questions.
Now, if you're registered to vote, just bring an acceptable ID like your passport, driver's license, or student ID. In Wisconsin, you can register at your polling place. If you still need to register, you'll need to bring proof of residence and a photo ID. If you'd like to confirm what's on your ballot, you can check myvote.wi.gov. Now, there are 2 questions on the ballot tomorrow that could change the Wisconsin state constitution. News 8 Now's Dua Israr explains how voters could change the way bail is set.
When voters head to the polls, they'll be voting for more than just candidates.
This is a constitutional amendment in Wisconsin. It's a lot tougher to change the wording than it is that you would normally just change with a statute.
Currently, the state constitution allows judges to consider how likely the defendant is to appear in court and protect community members from serious bodily harm. The First Amendment would change the Constitution to say serious harm. The second would allow judges to consider things like prior convictions for a violent crime when setting bail.
Well, right now the judges are supposed to only set a cash bond if someone's a risk to not appear in the future. This would change that. So judges could look at the seriousness of the crime or the risk to the public and impose a higher cash bond.
Why is this amendment on your ballot? The proposal has passed in the 2 required successive legislature sessions. The Darrell Brooks case brought even more attention.
What happened in Waukesha was a wake-up call.
Brooks had been released on a $1,000 bail 5 days before he drove an SUV through Waukesha's Christmas parade in late 2021.
I think people get confused by what bail is for and frustrated when people are out when they commit very dangerous crimes.
La Crosse County District Attorney Tim Grinke says while the amendments are a step towards bail reform, there needs to be more.
It makes sense that you should consider dangerousness, but what doesn't make sense is to use some amount of cash attached to that.
Critics of the amendment say this will affect people with lower incomes, something Grinke agrees with.
The idea that some people can post bond and get out and others can't just because they don't have money doesn't seem fair.
Reporting in La Crosse, Dua Israr, News 8 Now.
Now, currently, there is no definition for what serious harm means. The legislature has passed a bill for the definition, but Governor Evers has not signed it into law. If these constitutional amendments pass and Evers vetoes the bill, judges will be able to pick and choose what's considered as serious harm. Wisconsin Supreme Court race, already the most expensive court race in U.S. history. As of today, spending topped $42 million. The Wisconsin Democracy Campaign reported that $23.3 million has been spent by Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Janet Protasewicz. Former State Supreme Court Justice Dan Kelly and his supporters have spent $17.6 million. The winner in tomorrow's race will determine the majority control of the Supreme Court and serve a 10-year term. Dan Kelly made a visit to French Island today on his last day of the statewide campaign tour. He spoke to voters about his aim to protect rights and freedoms as they're written in the state constitution. Kelly told his supporters Janet Protasewicz will turn the court into an activist political institution. Democrats representing the Coulee region held another state budget listening session tonight. Voters in West Salem wrote down questions on budget-related topics for Assemblyman Steve Doyle and State Senator Brad Pfaff. Some of the top concerns tonight centered on relief on Social Security taxes, as well as tax breaks for caregivers. The legislature's Joint Finance Committee is currently producing their version of the next biennial budget. They will then send that to the governor's desk for revisions.
Well, a good later Monday night. I've got alert days for tomorrow and Wednesday, so let's get to that right off the top. The reason we've got a severe threat later tomorrow into tomorrow night, especially south. Very similar setup to what we saw last Friday, and then very windy conditions on Wednesday as this storm system pulls out of the region. 25 to 40, even 50-mile-per-hour gusts possible, especially in the wind-prone areas, the ridgetops, the higher terrain, and the open areas of southeastern Minnesota and northeastern Iowa. High of 60 degrees briefly in La Crosse today. Everyone else in the 40s and 50s, and mainly cloudy sky right now. We've had some sprinkles and light showers over far southern portions of the viewing area. Some more persistent scattered showers over southeastern Wisconsin, but much of our area dry. 30s to the north and west, the rest of us in the lower to middle 40s. Mainly cloudy tonight, lows around 38 degrees in La Crosse, a little bit cooler to the north. Schoolcast for tomorrow, lots of clouds, some rain showers by midday and into the afternoon, with highs generally in the mid to upper 40s. That thunderstorm threat comes in late in the day and into tomorrow night. I'll discuss that in more detail with my 8-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Sounds good. Thanks, Bill. Back on the news side of things this evening, the Winona Police Department is asking for the public's help to find a missing woman. According to police, 26-year-old Madeline Kingsbury didn't show up to work Friday morning. Calls and texts from family and friends also went unanswered. Police say Kingsbury drove a dark blue Chrysler minivan. Investigators believe they spotted a van matching that description going from Winona to eastern Fillmore County on Friday. Winona police are asking people living in Fillmore County to check their security cameras and land for anything suspicious. Kingsbury is 5 feet 4 inches tall. Anyone with information is asked to call Winona police. We'll have more information on our website. An Arcadia man is in custody after allegedly threatening people with a pistol. The Trempealeau County Sheriff's Office says callers reported a drunk man pointing a gun at people in the city of Blair on Saturday night. He had allegedly pointed a pistol at several people, including kids, and made threats. The man left before deputies arrived. Authorities later arrested 59-year-old Douglas Stegerwald of Arcadia the following day on 5 counts of recklessly endangering safety. Local governments will be allowed to impound repeat reckless drivers' cars, thanks to a bill signed by Governor Tony Evers today. The Republican-authored measure is part of a push to crack down on reckless driving. The bill allows counties and municipalities to pass ordinances allowing police to take reckless drivers' vehicles if the driver has a prior reckless driving citation and hasn't paid the forfeiture. Republicans are pushing another bill that would double fines and forfeitures and nearly double prison time for reckless driving that causes great bodily harm. This is the first bill that Evers has signed into law since the legislative session began. Coming up, an unprecedented court appearance. Former President Trump will show up to New York criminal court tomorrow afternoon for his historic arraignment.
Get Breyers ice cream, just $2.88. And Chips Ahoy, just $1.88 at Hy-Vee. That's Breyers ice cream, just $2.88. And Chips Ahoy, just $1.88. Tuesday only, and only at Hy-Vee.
Sometimes in louder situations, it's tough to hear what others are saying.
We just thought, why not get a baseline so that we know where we're at?
I think the staff is very friendly.
They live here in our community. They care about the people that live here. They want to help people hear better. I feel like we're in the business of keeping people's eyes healthy, but I feel like keeping your ears healthy is also very important, and all of our senses are important.
Better Hearing Center on Alaska, next to St. Pat's Church.
A person is known by the company they keep. Who are Judge Janet Protasewitz's friends? Predatory abortion profiteers. The type of savages that support late-term abortions that cause excruciating pain and stop a beating heart. And they want you, the taxpayer, to foot the bill. Janet Protasewicz and her bloodthirsty comrades don't care about Wisconsin's values. They care about making money, killing babies. Vote Dan Kelly on April 4th.
If your entry door or aging patio door is a daily nuisance, you will never find better replacements than those available at the Board Store today. An outstanding selection of styles, colors, and glass in Provia fiberglass and steel entry doors. High-performance patio doors with many options. Entry doors and patio doors can be custom-sized to fit your home. Installation by our factory-trained carpenters, and the lowest price of the year during the 20th Annual Early Bird Home Show, only at the Board Store, 524 Copeland Avenue, La Crosse.
Get Breyer's ice cream, just $2.88. And Chips Ahoy, just $1.88 at Hy-Vee. That's Breyer's ice cream, just $2.88. And Chips Ahoy, just $1.88. Tuesday only, and only at Hy-Vee.
Sources tell CBS News that the entire New York Police Department is on high alert ahead of former President Trump's arraignment tomorrow afternoon. That's when the indictment will be unsealed and charges will be made public. Naomi Ruckham is outside Manhattan Criminal Courthouse with the latest.
Former President Donald Trump was cheered on by supporters as he left Florida en route to New York City for his arraignment Tuesday. Up to 100 Secret Service agents will be involved as he travels downtown to the Manhattan Criminal Courthouse for booking. Sources tell CBS News Trump will likely be charged with falsifying business records in the first degree, a felony stemming from his alleged role in hush money paid to Stormy Daniels.
Exactly the kind of thing that Manhattan does.
Rebecca Roife is a CBS News legal contributor and former Manhattan Assistant District Attorney.
This falsification of business records charge in New York, it's kind of the bread and butter of what the DA's office does. It's the way in which Manhattan prosecutors have historically held those in power responsible for their acts.
City officials say there are no specific threats and they haven't seen an influx of outsiders coming here, unlike in the lead up to the January 6th attack in Washington.
New York City is our home, not a playground for your misplaced anger.
Trump has attacked District Attorney Alvin Bragg and claims the judge overseeing the case hates me.
He will fight this all the way to the end.
Michael Cohen alleges Trump directed him to make the payments to Daniels. Cohen has served time in prison, partly for his role in that exchange.
I should not be held accountable for Donald Trump's dirty deeds.
Roife says Cohen's credibility will be an issue for prosecutors, who will need to convince the jury that he's being truthful. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
Trump plans to fly back to Florida after the arraignment. He is planning to speak at Mar-a-Lago tomorrow night. And CBS News is planning a special report when Trump is due to appear in court, so they're likely to break into regular scheduled programming tomorrow afternoon. Our morning and noon shows will keep you up to date on those developments. Still ahead, an Xcel Energy partnership with the Salvation Army. La Crosse County's chapter is using Xcel customer donations to help those who are struggling to get their heat payments back on track.
And I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Grahl. We kind of had a mix of sun and clouds for today. Temperatures in the 50s for most. These skies could turn stormy again late tomorrow into tomorrow night. I'll have the details coming up next.
Two candidates for Supreme Court. Two very different beliefs. Judge Janet Protasewicz. She believes women should have the freedom to make their own decisions on abortion. Extremist Dan Kelly. He supports the 1849 law that takes away women's rights and criminalizes abortion, even in cases of rape, incest, and health of the mother. So who represents you? An extremist or a common sense judge? Vote by April 4th.
I've never been afraid to express myself, to create a life I love. I worried cancer could steal my spark and become my identity. But UW Health designed custom treatments just for me. And now, my legacy, it's still in the making. Because standard, well, that's never been my style. UW Health, remarkable.
When you safely dispose of the unused medications in your home, you protect your whole family. But when our whole community does it, we can protect so many more. Wisconsin often leads the nation in safe drug disposal, so let's keep it up. Participate in the next Drug Take-Back Day in your community, or find a year-round safe disposal drop box near you. Get started today at doseofrealitywi.gov.
Introducing the StarMark Composite Window, now available exclusively at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions. With its solid frame construction, this revolutionary window is 2,000% more airtight, 40% more energy efficient, and 12 times stronger than the average vinyl window.
And at a price less than what many companies charge for lower quality vinyl windows. Receive a free triple paint upgrade on select windows and 24 months interest-free financing.
A man brutally attacked and sexually assaulted a woman. The victim spent endless nights unable to sleep, plagued by nightmares. Judge Janet Protasewicz called the offender many females' worst nightmare, but she cut his sentence to only 2.5 years in prison. Judge Janet's dangerous judgment puts our families at risk. That's why sheriffs throughout Wisconsin support Dan Kelly. He's the only candidate we can trust to keep violent felons off our streets. On April 4th, vote Justice Dan Kelly. Fair Courts America is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Visit the Early Bird Home Show going on now at the Ford Store Home Improvements. Lowest prices of the year on your 2023 project. Windows, bathrooms, and more. You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
Xcel Energy customers struggling to pay for heat and energy can now get a helping hand from Xcel and the La Crosse County Salvation Army. The partnership between the two has launched the Heat Share program, an extension of sorts with Xcel's Home Energy Assistance program. Families in need can apply for one-time bill assistance of up to $1,000 between now and October 1st. The program is on a first-come, first-served basis, so Salvation Army officials say it's better to act sooner.
The program runs until funds are exhausted. Each family can request up to $1,000 of aid. To be approved for the aid, they would need to bring in their current Xcel Energy bill, their disconnect notice, proof of residency, and proof of income.
Xcel customers needing Heat Share should call Salvation Army for an appointment. Other Xcel customers actually help fund this program through willing donations. We'll have a link with eligibility criteria and more info on our website. All right, time to switch it up, talk some weather with our chief meteorologist, Bill Grahl.
Well, another busy couple days in store. It's been an active stretch of weather. In fact, it's been an active year so far, to be honest. Currently pretty quiet in downtown La Crosse, just cloudy skies. We've had some very light rain showers and sprinkles over southern portions of the viewing area during the evening hours, and they continue to push off to the south and east. Now, again, we were the warm spot here in La Crosse with that high of 60. Most surrounding areas in the 50s, even 40s for highs to the north. 54 is average, 80 and 10 are the records, and no rain or snow in the La Crosse area today. 45 degrees with that cloudy sky both at the airport and downtown at the station. Winds are light out of the north at about 5 to 10. And look at the Mississippi now above 8 feet. So that snow melt process has begun, especially when overnight lows don't drop below freezing. We don't get that refreeze. That really speeds up the snow melt process. So expect this number to continue to climb. Plus, of course, we had all the heavy rain last Friday, and that continues to cause the Black River from Black River Falls down through Galesville to be running high, and the Yellow River around Necedah. 38 degrees for you folks in Eau Claire. The Chippewa River is a bit high as well, but it's starting to fall a bit. 766.0 the latest stage up there. Current temperatures 50s and 60s south of a frontal boundary, 30s and 40s to the north of it, including 45 in La Crosse and Boscobel, 37 in Eau Claire, 39 in Winona, 38 in Black River Falls. Again, winds kind of turning around to the north and northeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. So those rain showers have been confined to mainly southeastern Wisconsin, but again, clipping some of our southeastern communities, and then some fairly hefty rains going on across central and southern portions of Michigan. But my focus is squarely on this area of low pressure over western Colorado. It's going to make its way towards western Iowa. And as it does, it's going to try to lift this warm front northward. Very similar scenario to what we saw last Friday, and how far north that warm front will be key in who sees the severe weather. Usually it's right near and south of that warm front that is seeing the highest threat, and that's again the case in similar areas that saw the tornadic issues last Friday. Almost exact same scenario in terms of the severe weather risk, and that includes our far southern communities, especially northeastern Iowa, Crawford, Richland, kind of portions of Vernon, Juneau, and Adams counties as well in that level 2 risk, just a level 1 risk near and south of La Crosse. Local timing a little bit later than Friday. Looks to be around the dinner hour through about midnight with winds and hail the primary threats. Isolated tornado can't fully be ruled out, especially to the south in that level 3 risk, kind of south of the Wisconsin River. But of course, we will fine tune that and watch that closely as we head into later tomorrow and tomorrow night. So quiet tonight and quiet tomorrow morning. Some general rain showers develop around lunchtime and into the afternoon, but notice the lack of thunder threat until maybe around say 6, 7, 8 o'clock. Some thunderstorms start to race northeast across the area and then kind of move out by about midnight or shortly thereafter. And then as we head into Wednesday, no thunderstorm threat, but boy, those winds will be howling from the west, 20 to 40, perhaps even gusts of 50 miles per hour. So for tonight, mainly cloudy, dry for most, 38 for the low. Alert day tomorrow. Due to that storm threat late in the day and into tomorrow night, 49 for the high, but we actually might rise a little bit above that into tomorrow night in the low to mid 50s Wednesday morning before temperatures plummet on those strong winds. So an alert day Wednesday due to the wind threat. Breezy still and cool Thursday, back in the 50s on Friday, 60s next weekend, timing that well, but also at least a slight chance for some rain, maybe even a thunder shower on Sunday. So this is typical in April. You get these kind of ups and downs, 40s, 50s, 60s over the next 8 days.
A little bit of a hodgepodge.
Yeah.
All right, Bill, thanks very much.
Right.
Still ahead in sports, the Brewers have about as perfect a home opener as you can dream up. I'm happy. Plus, one high school freshman going from volleyball player to volleyball official. Cade's got that story next.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Mayo Clinic Health System. At Mayo Clinic Health System, get personalized specialty care with access to experts from orthopedics to neurosurgery and cardiology to cancer care, all close to home.
Morning. Hardee's 2 for $5 mix and match breakfast starts your day with made from scratch sausage and egg biscuits, biscuit and gravy, or sweet cinnamon roll. Pick any two, just $5. My rewards members get exclusive offers on the Hardee's app.
Protect your home and save with 11% off everything at Menards. Your roof is the first line of defense against the elements. Shingles protect your home and impact its curb appeal. Owens Corning architectural shingles can withstand up to 130 mile-per-hour winds and have a limited lifetime warranty. Available in over 60 styles. You'll have big dreams for your home. Choose Owens Corning shingles. All 11% off right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is here and ready to help. Anyone in Wisconsin can call, text, or chat to get connected to a trained 988 counselor. Trained counselors are here to support anyone experiencing a suicidal, mental health, or substance use crisis. You can also contact 988 if you're concerned about someone. 988 is confidential and free to all Wisconsin residents. 988 24/7. Call, text, chat. Here to support you.
What does it cost to buy off a judge? For extremist Dan Kelly, he's for sale for $20,000. In 2020, Kelly conveniently changed his mind about whether to judge the Tim Zignego case. Kelly had recused himself. Then he pocketed $20,000 in contributions from Zignego and his family, and Kelly unrecused himself so he could judge the case. Justice shouldn't be for sale. Dan Kelly is too corrupt, too extreme.
It's the Hardee's Star Deal Combo. Get a Hardee's Charbroiled Double Cheeseburger, crispy 3-piece hand-breaded chicken tenders, or original hot ham and cheese with a small fry and drink for just $5.99. My rewards members get exclusive offers on the Hardee's app.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Mayo Clinic Health System. Here's News 8 Now's Cade Overton.
Being a referee is not an easy job in any sport, so when I heard that there was a freshman at Melrose Mindoro High School that is working towards becoming a WIAA certified volleyball referee, I had to go and find out more. Paige Spores went out for volleyball for 1 year in 8th grade, and when she returned to the court the next year, she decided to become a referee. Melman volleyball coach David Waraxa told me he thought she was joking or that she wasn't going to go through with it. But to his surprise, Paige showed up and was ready to step in as an official. It's not a path that many high schoolers are willing to take, but Spores saw it as an opportunity to help.
We've always had like a shortage of officials, and these kids deserve to play. So, I mean, like, when our coach approached me, I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And it just sounded really fun to me anyways.
Well, Spores isn't WIAA certified yet. She's helping with middle school spring tournaments at Melrose Mindoro, but the volleyball team is going to sponsor her and help make sure she gets through the process so she can get her certification. Coach Waraxa knows things like this don't happen often, and he wants to make sure she gets all the support she needs.
Back when I was in high school, our volleyball coach and basketball coach encouraged us to become officials, and I make a point of telling my kids to do that. And I'm glad to actually see that we have someone who's embracing it and doing such a great job.
Well, if all goes to plan, Spores will get a restricted certification later this year, which means she'll be able to officiate anybody that's younger than she is. So if you're at a middle school volleyball game next fall, look out for Page Spores. All right, today was opening day for La Crosse Central as the Riverhawks hosted Sparta down at Copeland Park. Bottom of the first, Tyler Young ropes one out to left field. Diving catch, not good enough. And that means Mason Elston will come in to score. It's 1-0 Central. A few batters later, 2 on for Casey Erickson. First at bat of the year, and Erickson sends this to Granddad Bluff. A 3-run shot over the right field wall. That's one way to get your senior year started. 4-0 Central. Still in the first, 2 on for Elston. Ground ball gets through into left field. Both runners come in to score. 8 runs in the first inning, and that was the difference maker. 10-0 the final. Real quickly, a few high school scores from the area. Onalaska beating Holman 6-5 in a close one. Viroqua over Black River Falls 5-2, and Luther defeated Melman 3-2. And a few softball scores as well. La Crosse Central over Little Chute 5-4. Luther over La Crosse Logan 6-5, and Cashin defeated Bangor 8-5. And we had the home opener at American Family Field as the Brewers hosted the Mets earlier this afternoon. The day started with a flyover during the national anthem while the roof was closed. It may have been a fun laugh on social media for a while, but for the game, the Brewers came to play. Brewers going for their 3rd straight win. 4th inning already up 1, and Brian Anderson is going to touch them all. A deep shot to dead center field for a 2-run home run. Milwaukee up 3. Now in the 5th, 2 on for a Willie Adames, and ground ball to short, and it just does get past the glove. Yelich rounds 3rd. He comes in to score. It's now 4-0. Later in the inning, bases loaded for Bryce Turang, and how about this? Turang crushes this to deep right for a grand slam. His first career home run in the big leagues, and the rookie is taking over Milwaukee. His parents were in the crowd. They were loving it. What a day for Turang. Brewers win 10-0. Twins were down in Miami, and Max Kepler gets things started with a bang, a solo shot to deep right, and just like that, it's 1-0. Then in the second, Joey Gallo with 2 men on, and he just crushes this one. It's his 3rd home run in 2 days. He's on fire. It's 4-0 Twins. 7th inning, and how about another? Trevor Larnart gets in on the fun. This one's a 2-run home run. It's 10-1. The Twins are rolling, and they weren't done. Ryan Jeffers adding insult to injury. A solo shot off of catcher Jacob Stallings. Twins are 4-0 on the year, keeping that perfect season alive. 11-1 the final. That's all for sports. We'll be right back.
We've done many renovations. We bought an old house and have made it into an up-to-date house. Whenever anything involves plumbing, the first call I make is to Maxwell White. Their technicians put together a great final product.
Where does electricity come from? It comes from here. And here. And here. At Xcel Energy, we work to keep that energy reliable and safe by constantly monitoring and protecting the grid. Because while it's important where electricity comes from, we're just as focused on getting it where it's going safely. This is how the future is made.
Our officers risk their lives to protect your families.
But law enforcement's hands are tied when judges like Janet Protasiewicz refuse to hold dangerous criminals accountable.
Including a man who brutally raped a 13-year-old girl and posted a video of it to Facebook. Monsters like him belong in prison. Judge Janet disagrees.
Wisconsin sheriffs are supporting Dan Kelly for Supreme Court. He enforces the rule of law, not the rule of Janet.
Vote Daniel Kelly for Wisconsin Supreme Court.
Happy Take and Bake Tuesday!
Every Tuesday at Papa Murphy's, you can get any large pizza for just $12, which makes Tuesday the best day to bring home all your favorites.
We might have too many favorites.
Do you guys have a favorite child?
I have a favorite son.
It's me, right?
At Papa Murphy's, we make great pizza, so you can make the pizza great. Order now at papamurphys.com.
Hey, it's Brody from Great River Harley-Davidson. It's Harley's 120th anniversary, and we are celebrating all year long. Our new 2023s are on the floor with new models, new colors, but that classic Harley ride. Plus, we have awesome anniversary apparel, including custom helmets, limited edition clothes, riding gear, and more. Stop by and see us anytime at Great River Harley-Davidson.
Sick of running out of hot water? The professionals at Maxwell White are here to handle all of your water heater needs. Our licensed technicians can install, repair, or replace any type of water heater with same-day or next-day service. Call Maxwell White. Plumbing done right.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
It was a birthday to remember for West Salem's Zoe Coder. The young woman who suffered a traumatic brain injury in a car accident last fall got a hero's welcome right outside her door today. Dozens of village residents participated in a Coder caravan, driving past Zoe's house with excited waves, birthday cards, and a few stuffed dinosaurs, which are a personal favorite of Zoe's. In addition to happy birthday messages, organizers say it was a chance for friends and community members to cheer on her progress. Coder has been rehabbing her brain injury at a specialist hospital in Colorado for months, but has made enough progress to return home. A close friend says she hopes Zoe felt the love as everyone drove by.
It's just really to show her that this community has her back and that so many people love her, because this year more than ever it's so important because she's been through so much and she deserves the world.
Zoe officially turns 17 today. For more information on her journey, we've got links posted at news8000.com. You'll love to see it from the community. We'll be right back after this.
Get the day's news in your inbox. Email newsletters from News 8 Now. Sign up today. Go to news8000.com/newsletters to get started.
I won't write your will.
I don't write contracts.
I won't handle your divorce.
I do know a few things about personal injury law.
All I do is help injured people get the compensation they deserve.
At Bygoff and Rohde, that's how we get results.
LaCrosse Glass and Overhead Doors has been selling, servicing, and installing garage doors since 1964 and believe garage doors should be exceptional quality and craftsmanship. We guarantee to help you select a door to fit all of your needs. We offer a large stock inventory of CHI overhead doors, including residential, commercial, rolling steel, and high-speed doors. Visit our website and design the door of your dreams with CHI Door Visions. Get your free quote today.
What does it cost to buy off a judge? For extremist Dan Kelly, he's for sale for $20,000. In 2020, Kelly conveniently changed his mind about whether to judge the Tim Zignego case. Kelly had recused himself. Then he pocketed $20,000 in contributions from Zignego and his family, and Kelly unrecused himself so he could judge the case. Justice shouldn't be for sale. Dan Kelly is too corrupt, too extreme.
Are you looking for ways to manage your money wherever life takes you? Ultra's online and mobile banking is where it's at. We make managing your accounts on any device easy and secure. So go ahead, transfer funds, send money, deposit checks, or pay bills. All on your schedule, anytime, anywhere. But don't just take our word for it. Here's what our members say. Take the next step and download the Ultra mobile app from the Apple App Store or Google Play. Ultra Federal Credit Union, helping you live your best life.
Jerry here, and welcome to Stockman's in Osseo, Wisconsin, where we have so much more in our 60,000 square foot store. Boots, men's, women's, and children's clothing, grocery, fresh produce, health and beauty, pet supplies, toys, automotive, farm supply, beer, wine, and liquor, hardware, sporting goods, paint, plumbing and electrical, and so much more. Come take the Stockman's tour, and I'll be looking for you.
I've practiced personal injury law for 4 years.
For 20 years.
For 32 years.
All I do every day
is help injured people get the compensation that they deserve.
At Bygoff and Rohde, that's how we get results.
Mainly cloudy tonight, lows in the upper 30s here in La Crosse, right around 38 degrees. Tomorrow, rain showers by midday and into the afternoon. We'll have to watch that thunderstorm threat late in the day and into tomorrow night. That's why it's an alert day. Some could be strong to severe, especially south, 49. Alert day on Wednesday because of gusty winds, 20 to 40, even 50 miles per hour. Highs around 54 degrees. Do me a favor, download our First Warn weather app. It's much, much better, trust me, than those built-in weather apps on your phones. Ugh, don't even get me started on those. But you can get reports and updates from yours truly, real-time weather alerts. You can follow along on radar in terms of where those storms are headed. Really, it is a good service. You should try it out.
It is, and this isn't even a shameless plug either. I don't even open the weather app anymore. It's always the First Warn now.
Wow, good man.
Ton of good
man.
info. Be sure to vote tomorrow, and we'll see you tomorrow.